Yeah, when I cross that starting line, you'll be sleeping. It's going to be 6:30 a.m. when I cross the starting line.
Oh, my Lord. A.M.,
Yeah.
as Scott Fletcher would say.
A.M.
Let's see. Do we have a show? We do. We got everything. I think we can go. And I blew my microphone out, which was real fun. And I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, I took it apart and then blew all the dust out of it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. You took it apart, blew it, as
Yeah.
opposed to blowing it apart and taking it.
I used one of these.
Nice. My cats freak out. Actually, all the animals in the house freak out when I spray one of those. Like if I do there's something about the pitch of that thing that freaks them out.
I'm trying to. It probably would mind too. I'm trying to think if I've ever done it. I probably haven't, but now I want to. So I'm going to do a cruel thing later and do that. I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah. I'll feel.
Well, that's how serial killers start.
Indeed. What's this?
You're fired.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that's there.
Darn it, that sounds like Hank Hill.
It is. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
You're fired.
All right. Let's do a show. Here we go. It starts
All right.
in 3, 2, 1.
This is the morning stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night. TMS Pm.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS PM, the PM edition of the morning stream for June 28th, 2019. Welcome back to the program. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett over there. Hi.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
It's Bike-a-thon Eve for Brian Ibbett.
That's right. That's right.
Are you excited? Are you stoked? What are you doing? Are you wearing your butter yet? You got your bum butter on?
No, I'm not going to put that on till I darn well have to. That stuff does not go on the chode until the bike is rode.
There you go. What are you trying to get titles this early in the show? I'm impressed. That's good.
just a fly, just a thing on the fly.
Yep.
Much like the butter.
Yep. There you go.
Are
you excited though? Are you
Scott,
pumped? Are you ready? Do you feel ready? Like, how's your brain here?
I feel ready. I feel ready as far as like having done a lot of cycling the last couple of weeks to kind of prep myself. A lot of endurance rides, long rides, and then a lot of shorter hilly rides, like zoop, 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 big hills one right after another.
Sure.
Woke up this morning though, Scott, and feels like I'm getting a little bit of a cold.
No.
I don't know, like, I've been taking such good care of myself. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that some jackanape got in my lift and had the sniffles or something. And,
I didn't think about that. You introduce new bugs to your routine by opening your car door and letting people in. I didn't think about that. I didn't even think of that. That's crazy
Listen, I don't care if I'm like, sneezing and wheezing and whatever. I'm doing the ride tomorrow. Of course. No offense or buts. And I'm just like, I'm killing this thing. If it is a cold, I'm killing this thing with determination is what I'm doing.
Drink a bunch of like rubbing alcohol or something. What can you do?
Oh, yeah, it seems like a great idea.
But isn't there a trick like, I don't know, airborne, take an airborne or whatever those are? Do those work?
That stuff is BS. The airbornes and the emergencies and all that stuff, those are all placebos, Scott. Placebos is what they are.
That's what I thought too. Also, I went to a doctor today, and you know what he says a placebo is? He says don't let anyone sell you testosterone pills. They don't work, he says.
Oh. Well, I would have expected that. Oh, yeah, zinc actually is a good thing I should do a bunch of, not a bunch of zinc. I should take a modicum of zinc.
Take a zinc, yeah. They got zincs in those airbornes, so that's how they get away with it, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So they got stuff in there that's supposed to work, but if you got the low testosterone, don't take no pills. They just go straight to your gut acid and it's gone. It's dead. It doesn't do anything. So you want to...
No, I have no need to take testosterone pills. I have plenty of testosterone.
Can you send me half yours? Because I am low. I am low.
Are you low?
I am low. So he says, that's why I went to the doctor today.
Somebody pulls in front of me in my car. I want to take him out.
He was telling me about how he's got somebody on injections who wants to stay at 1,000 all the time. But a normal range for a male at our age is somewhere between 500 and 900. That's the range you're supposed to be. So anywhere in there is good. I'm at 190. Okay. That's too low. It's too low.
Oh yeah. Wow. I didn't realize they could. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? It's it's produced by a gland, testosterone.
Yeah, it's a measurable
thing. It's not like
it's in your blood and all that. So that's
like,
they did more blood work. And
measuring your machismo couldn't be done, but measuring your testosterone certainly.
No, of course not. And my machismo, I expect not to move very much, even if they end up treating this. But here's what they're going to do. They want to give me...
How's your moxie? Scott?
My moxie's low. I don't have good moxie. Oh, my doctor... That's funny. They're all saying Scott has low T. In the meeting with him, he kept saying that as if it was a joke. Like he'd go, oh, yeah, in the late 90s, everybody was getting all into that, and all you heard was, I got low T, he kept saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard that phrase.
Made me laugh. Yeah, made me laugh. But anyway, so he says... injections in the butt is what I might have to get. And that's going to take a little time because I took another blood test today to make sure the levels are still low. And if they are low, then he wants to give me a bum injection twice a month. Or actually, Kim would do it because you just go get the prescription. And then Kim takes this needle. It's 1.5 inches long, Brian. It's double the thickness of a normal needle. And the stuff inside has got the viscosity of freaking syrup.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Really excited about this. Really excited. My estrogen is fine, Lemonhead. I don't have much of that either, which is good. And all my blood work, thumbs up, man. No issues. White count, bread count, all the counts.
All those other counts are good.
The Muppet who counts, all of them. They're all good.
The count is good.
You have 190 testosterone, low T. Anyway, so I'm gonna try it. We'll see what it does. Basically, it's just for you get tired easy, and you just kind of, a little cranky, lethargic, and it's not that bad. Like right now, I'm feeling pretty up, but sometimes I feel that way. And he says, well, that's probably this. We should probably see if we can't kickstart it. Sometimes it just goes down for no reason. There's a million people that have this, and some people it's like a chronic thing their whole life. Other people have low T and never even have any inkling that they do. Some people have high testosterone. It's like overboard, and they can't control it, and we have to knock it down. Like it's just a normal thing for dudes.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
All right.
So wish me luck.
Well,
anyway, wish you luck, though,
because
you're going to be riding with a cold, and you're going to be out there, and you got this stuff going on.
We'll see. We'll see if this is really cold or if it's just like some quick allergy or some 24-hour thing or whatever. The good news is that we've got Dan the Tabletop Man coming on. Maybe he's got some sort of like, oh, hey, Brian, take this quick fix. Boom. And, it won't kill the cold, but it'll delay it 48 hours so you can do the ride.
That's actually true. He might. And he may have... He may have some butt injection plans as well, or ideas that I could follow. Apparently, there's a gel as well.
Right,
you can put a gel on your low T body, and then it sucks into your bloodstream. That's one way to do it, but it's more expensive. But then you can't hug anybody while you got it on you. That's what he told me. Doctor says he says if you got that low T cream on your arms and your chest and your body, and let's say I'm at the pool and I'm naked from the waist up, and I see a friend and I go over and hug him, I just gave him a load of testosterone right then. That's what he said.
An unwilling load of testosterone.
Yes.
What you just gave me.
Yeah, he didn't ask for it, so I got to be careful.
T2 movement.
Anyway, it's good stuff. I'm excited for you tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I have a warning. Do I have a warning sound? Right. I don't have a warning sound.
Do your red alert, your trope alert.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hold on. I can't wait for this new iTunes replacement. Hold on. Or can I? You actually played with it. What do you think?
I've been playing with it. So far, so good. I mean, it really is. It is iTunes without the movies and TV shows. That's really all it is. Like everything else about it is iTunes.
Okay, so I'm okay with that, I think. Because
it's just got. So I mean, just like it's what we've seen at the top or during the demo, which is at the top you've got those three little things that Apple Music gives you in your app anyway, the For You and Browse and Radio. and then everything else is right there. Your library, recently added artists, albums, songs, music videos, etc. It's all
so
right
lighter,
there.
but it sounds like a lighter weight client, so less full of crap I don't need or want, which means it should run more efficiently. Okay, I'm in.
Yep.
Chat room says, "What have I done to my head?" What do you mean? Something wrong with my head? It's just hair on there.
I don't see. I just see the hair. I mean, I see your red dot, but that's a dot you've always had.
Yeah, I'm almost Hindu with this thing. A little bit bigger, I'll be an official Hindu.
Almost a bindi.
Almost a bindi. Dot, not feather. Anyway, I got to stop saying that. So here's your warning. Here you go.
Warning.
Okay, I've got.
Oh, I like that one too.
That was pretty good. Let's see. Ostrom. Remember these? Remember this?
Yeah. Ostrom.
Just a couple days ago. Ostrom is good. I like it. It's tasty. Beef and the ostrich in there. It's very good. I do have a warning though. This single stick is considered a serving, and that's all you should eat. And that's all I've done. Sure. I haven't eaten a ton or anything. It's not like I'm about to confess I ate the whole box or anything.
Sure. I
ate one of these, and then proceeded to have, as I put on the instance, Chernobyl level gas. And the family hates me now. Nobody wants to be around me. Because this is the fartiest freaking beef stick you'll ever consume.
Really?
So just a little warning. And like, if you're going to go riding tomorrow, don't think this is your energy in the morning, because you're going to be farting in your freaking duck butter all afternoon. So watch it.
It's just going to spray out behind me like a fine mist.
Make sure you got lots of people behind you. I mean, it's
right.
It's really bad. Now, otherwise tasty and fine, and I suppose there's some nutrition in here. It's not like these are bad. And maybe it's just me, but man, I created a cloud and cleared the house.
Seems like it would make sense. I mean, it's a very high protein, rich snack, so I can imagine that is what is going to happen with that stuff. Yeah. It's just going to be like, your body's going to say, all right, this is all got to come out now.
Yep.
Look out below.
Avoid it like the plague. Avoid it like the plague. One final note before we call Dan.
Yeah.
Got this in the mail today. Mario Maker 2. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Excited about that because, I love Mario. And
yeah.
I like making, and I also want to play these weird levels. And also the story mode is really good. They didn't have one of these in the first game.
I like Mario and I like making.
I like making and Mario. Hot damn heart Mario Maker 2. I just wanted to let everybody know that once again, Nintendo wastes way too much plastic and paper because the disc or the cartridge is the size of a freaking toenail down here.
Yeah, but you know what though? For putting that on your shelf, you don't want like a little tiny. I mean, I guess a smaller thing would be fine, right? Like a little CD size thing, or even, God, I mean, even the what was the Sony one? The little Sony deal.
UMDs, was that it?
No. Post UMDs. The Viva or the Vive? No, not the Vive. What was the thing called?
The handheld?
The Sony.
Oh, the
handheld that.
What the shit was it? Vita. Jeez.
The Vita. Thank you, Thermos Jack. Yeah, the Vitas had smaller cases, didn't they? Like shorter, smaller.
Yeah, it had what do you call them? Their version of an SD card, but it's a Sony thing, and they're called. I meant the
box, not the chip that you put in your.
Oh, the box itself.
Game.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I feel like those were smaller.
They did the same thing. You're right. It was a little tiny chip like that. But their their cases, I don't know. I'd have to find one to compare it. But they're probably something similar to this. It's fine. It's okay. It just feels like a lot of plastic, like just. But anyway, the reason I'm saying that is I licked it to be sure that they're still doing the nasty anti-kid thing. And Brian, I'm here to report that it tastes terrible. Don't lick the cartridge; it's bad.
Here you go, side by side. Here's the.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The Vita case and the. So I guess it's shorter, same thickness but shorter.
Yeah, see the Vita.
Or same height.
I feel like they could go that Vita size and be okay. Maybe they
totally.
want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even smaller, really, because it is the same thing. I mean, the Vita. The thing inside the Vita was like little tiny.
Yeah.
Right. Same kind of thing.
I usually do digital, like we've talked about before, but this one was cheaper if I got it on Amazon for physical, and I'm out of room on my SD card, so I thought, well, I'll just get the disc for this one. And it just reminded me, it's like, oh yeah, these are tiny. Feels like I'm wasting a lot of plastic, but then again, I'm going to keep this and keep the disc in it, or sell it and someone else will play it, so it's not that big a deal. Right. But they still taste terrible, which is the point. I licked it; it tastes bad.
Why did you do that?
Because I want to make sure there's a little tiny kid now in the house all the time. He's a little baby dude, and if somebody handed Van a little cartridge, he'd hork that thing right down. So I think that it's good they keep doing this, and so now I've baby-proofed the cartridges. They all taste bad. There you go.
By the way, this Scott right here that you're seeing?
Yeah. Hey, that's awesome. It's a
block?
coin block, yeah.
It is, and it holds my Nintendo Switch cartridges.
Did you print that?
I did 3D print that.
You bastard. That's awesome. I thought you bought it somewhere. That's cool.
No.
How many prints? How many prints is that? One print? Multiple prints?
It's 2 prints. It is a print for the box, a print for the lid, and then I did one print with all those little white buttons around the outside and just glued them on. But
oh, nice.
You don't need those. I mean, they add something to the thing. I should fill in the question marks with white as well.
Well, that's really awesome. I'm jealous of your cool 3D print. Look at this chat room's freaking out. That's badass. Cool. That is awesome. All right.
All right.
Should we do Dan? Let's do Dan.
Let's talk to Dan.
Yep. We'll get him in
Hello,
here.
Dan.
And, whoops, he's under Geek Jock Blog. Here he is. All right, adding him to the call. Let's see if we can't get something cool going on with Dan. Let's see, I got a little thing for him. Oh, that's no good. Hold on a second there, Dan. Don't say nothing. Thought I had this handy. Okay, can't find it, so I'll play this instead.
Well, they come as if from outer space in a variety of weird guises.
All right, that's Dan Rather, but close enough. Variety.
I figured you'd have something with an erection and get ready to go with all this testosterone.
Dude, man,
how do you think he's pressing buttons on his soundboard?
No. He's probably, he's not.
I learned a lot of stuff this morning going to the doctor about testosterone, and I immediately started texting Dan after. Well, first Dan texted me, said, hey, is there a show tonight? I said, absolutely, we'll see you on there. And then I said, oh, yeah, by the way, my doctor's doing this. And so Dan's already given me some advice. We've talked about the gel. We talked about some of that stuff. But all this low T business, Dan, what if I do nothing? Am I going to be okay at 190? Will I just be a grumpy sack of shit and that's it? Or what? What does it mean?
So if you stay at 190, you put yourself at risk for a bunch of different things. So you know how pretty much 5 or 6 times during every morning stream or during every film sack, you're going, oh, shit, what am I don't remember what the hell. What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
You'll get that even worse.
Well, great. Worse than that.
Yes, worse than that.
Okay.
Your bones, you're at risk for brittle bones.
Yeah.
All right. Your libido is going to be in the turlet.
Yeah.
You're also it could, and actually I want to give you a little bit. This could be why we need Skinny Scott. Project Skinny Scott, because low T can contribute to weight gain.
Yeah, he told me that too.
Even if you're not eating a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he said if you feel like you've gained weight that you normally wouldn't, it could be this. I said, well, I definitely feel that way.
You're also going to have you're putting your heart at risk as well.
Yeah. Which
sounds weird, but that's one of those things. There's some heart risk and fatigue. And you're not really you're a pretty happy guy, but you're at more risk for depression as well.
Oh yeah. No, I get grumpy.
So these are all symptoms of the low T, or these are all side effects of the low T cream?
No, symptoms of the low T.
No, these are all side effects of having low T. It's not like one of those things where you say, well, I'm depressed. Well, you must have low T. No, but when it kind of makes a lot of sense when you start putting everything together and you're like, well, this could be something that, you have all these symptoms, but like, well, let's do a little test and see what your testosterone looks like.
Yeah, and that's what they found. They're like, oh, you're low. Okay, well, we should do something about that.
Is there a home low T checking kit you can get, like a home pregnancy kit? I want to check my T at home.
Well, one way is when you look at Tina, do you go, if you do, then your T's probably just fine.
I don't want Brian to answer that for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. But wait a minute. It's you should just go in for any other appointment and say, hey, can I get a quick blood test and just check my testosterone?
I don't think
unless they're specifically looking for it, right? They probably won't look for that.
I think your best bet is to make sure you're having consistent checkups is your best bet. And then they will do random. They will do your routine blood tests. Yeah. And it's something that kind of pops up on your routine blood test. It's not something that you're going to be sitting there going, I'm a little, my beer gut's a little bigger today. Maybe it's my testosterone. It's not anything like that. Sure. But it's funny that you should say about the whole cream thing. And my wife's just getting home from work. She might kill me if she hears me tell the story. Yeah. So my wife, she's she's between all our ages. She's in her 40s.
Right.
So of course you look at a lot of the different hormones, between estrogen and testosterone.
Sure.
And one of the things that her doctor wanted her to do was to actually use a little bit of testosterone cream to get some of the other hormones back in whack.
Yeah, he mentioned that it was a thing that women sometimes use to get stuff kickstarted again or moving around or something, that it can affect those numbers.
She puts this on kind of on her legs, the signal for happy night, because
do you hear Dan cutting
she said
out?
the last thing I need is more testosterone in my
Yeah. Okay. So I'm hearing him cut out too. All right. So that was
you. I think that was just Dan.
A little bit. Yeah.
Here, you know what? I'm gonna switch this so we can be in your zone. Okay, now we're in the. Wait, you're in the U.S. You're in the South. I'm putting you in the South. Hold on.
east.
Okay, now you're southeast.
East south.
Yeah. Sorry. So she put this on. Did that mean that when you went and hugged her and said, "Hey, baby," you ended up with like a whole bunch of estrogen? You grew your boobs?
No. So she basically puts it on at night so that she knows that. Yeah, it's my hint that it's not going to be a fun night.
Okay.
So it's rolling over spoon night when she puts the cream on, because she said the last thing I need is more testosterone in me.
Right. She doesn't want more.
Wow.
I think that'd be really funny. That'd be funny if it was estrogen cream. Then you could grow a boob. Get like one boob. Which would be great.
Not quite that easy, but yeah, along those, it's not like you touch it and you're all instantly lactating. Right?
Sure, nobody wants that. I am kind of excited about it because I have two friends who in a similar boat. One friend has a pituitary tumor. Now it's not a malignant like cancer-y kind of thing. Apparently, it's just like a cyst growing in his head. Very hard to operate on. And so they've left it.
Right, because you have to go through basically everything to get there.
Yeah, it's real.
And I think a lot of times what they'll do to do that, you would almost go through. I think you go through the nose to get to the pituitary, because it's basically almost smack dab in the middle of your head.
Yeah.
And it's very common to get those really small tumors can form on a pituitary. And I wouldn't say it's very common, but it's very common that it's not anything major.
Right. It's not gonna end you or be your death or anything. And he got checked for it to make sure and everything. But it's big enough that he was putting him in like the 80 range, because he wasn't. Because that's where that stuff gets stimulated, or that's the part of the brain that tells your testes to do its job. And so
right.
I guess that's my understanding. Anyway, he found that out and he's like, "Oh, well, that's weird. What should we do?" They said, "Well, let's do these twice a month injections and let's see if it helps." That guy immediately lost like 30 pounds. He's running like a 10K every night or some weird crazy thing, and he used to never run.
Right.
I don't know if he's like 24-hour boner man or not, but he's like going, man. Just
well, it's not going to form it, but it'll definitely help your libido. And there's a lot of those other things, like you said. It's gonna kind of make you feel like you got more energy. You'll be, you'll find that your brain is sharper, and there's a lot of good things to it. But It is also a controlled substance, so anytime you bring those in, they'll probably be looking, when did you get it last time?
Oh, they're real careful about that stuff.
But your pharmacist, so it's a little, it's a little different. That's why it's always good to have a good rapport with your pharmacist.
Basically told Kim that she would be administering them and that they would hurt.
It's gonna pinch quite a bit at the site. It's not there are some things where you don't really even notice it, like, a lot of times, like different vaccines and stuff, but some injections, since it's a little bit deeper, I believe it's an IM depot, it's going to be it's going to smart a little bit, but it's it'll last those couple of weeks, so it's better than having to put a gel on every day. So
I don't want to.
Did you call it an IM depot?
Yeah, that's what it intramuscular depot, which is just another word for kind of like a big, you're putting a big blob into your muscles, and then it kind of releases over time.
At the IM depot. So hold on a second. He said also it was 1.5 inches long and thicker, like double the thickness of a normal, like a peanut butter shot. It's like that is what he said.
Yeah, it's and you might not even need. I think the liquid is a little thicker, which is probably why you might need a bigger gauge of a needle.
Yeah, he says it's like
but they're pretty sharp, so even though they're big, you may still, that's probably not necessarily, that's going to sting a little bit, but it's not going to be it'll be more the medicine that hurts you than the needle, especially if you're not looking at it.
All right.
Scott, it's going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me.
All right, well, forget about my low T.
Just a little prick.
Yeah, just a little prick. That's what I am. I want to talk about Brian. So Brian's doing this thing tomorrow, and he's feeling like he might get a little bit of a cold. I'm sure you heard it in the chat room. Do you have any suggestions to stave it off? Because he's got to go perform and blow their minds.
So Brian is right. A lot of that emergency and a lot of that stuff is hocus pocus. It's a little bit of what I'll say truth to the fact that it can boost your immune system a little bit.
Sure.
Staving it off for about 24 to 48 hours. Like in the wintertime, a little cough drop called Hall's Defense that has zinc, vitamin C, and echinacea. You know, around the wintertime, you take it for a few weeks at a time. And it helps to boost your immune system, especially if you're around people that get sick a lot. So, or when you're flying, what do they call?
Airborne.
Airborne.
Yeah, those are just mega doses of vitamin C. And things like going on the airline and things that, you know, it may help boost it a little bit. It's not going to be a cure for anything, but hey, I mean, if all it is kind of drinking a little bit of vitamin C or getting vitamin C and zinc in there, I definitely would use the combination, but don't overdo zinc.
What if you overdo? What if you get zinc poisoning? What happens then?
Oh man, you're gonna be sick to your stomach. That's gonna be the worst thing. You're gonna be sick to your stomach, and you're gonna probably feel like you ate a whole bunch of those little weird ass things Scott's toting around over there. Where he's farting all the time.
Ostrums.
Yeah, the ostrom. You're gonna feel like you had a bunch of ostrums because you're gonna be going from both ends a bit.
Oh no,
And
you don't want that,
awesome.
Brian.
Okay,
no.
yeah, definitely don't want that.
No.
So just
And
don't.
And when I say like
more
overdo it,
Yeah.
you'll know the difference between just having some zinc and going zinc. That's a big difference, you know.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, basically, we've got zinc, vitamins upstairs. Just take what's on the label, right? Don't take a 1,000 milligrams or whatever it tells you is the recommended daily dose of zinc.
Yeah.
And again, if you want to drink a little bit of the things that have vitamin C, or just try to get a little bit more OJ tonight. The truth is, that's the worst feeling when you know it's coming. When you feel that, and you're like, oh crap, I'm getting sick.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling. My daughter caught something on the plane.
But hopefully
back
your
from
adrenaline will
Japan.
get you through.
Oh yeah, your adrenaline. He has adrenaline to spare. Plus, he doesn't have low T.
I don't think I've got low T. I am tired a lot.
Yeah. Maybe you got low T.
Maybe I've got low T. I don't look at Tina and go, but that's just because I don't go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
Nice.
This is not a thing you do.
I look at Tina and go, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Here. Wise guy, huh?
It's the doctor says.
And whatever works for her, she responds with a wow.
She goes, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Doctor says that at our age group, in our range, 40 to 50, in that range, a lot of dudes have this. Now, in my
low T, very common.
Yeah, and he also says, my doctor named off a lot of stuff you did, like good nutrition, lower your stress, exercise, good aerobic exercise, a great way to naturally increase your testosterone. Lifting weights is a good way to do it. Like, he's naming all of this stuff. He did say that if you take the shots, one of the side effects, he says there aren't too many side effects. He says you should immediately feel the effects of it and feel better and like have energy and stuff. But you might get some hair loss. And I thought, well, Brian doesn't have any hair. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't mind. Right. Give me a shot. Got no problem with that.
But the other thing was, your testicles shrink, he says. They go, and I said, why would that be? Isn't it supposed to be more manly? I should be dragging them on the floor by the end of the night. And he says, no. He says, it's because normally they're in charge of this. And when you replace it, they go, oh, someone else got it. We're good. And they sit back and go,
I can take the day off.
Yeah.
Yep. That's very common with a lot of different meds and stuff like that, too. This is why I tell people with things like antacids and stuff like that, don't overdo those, because when your body's like, I don't need to do this crap anymore, it's coming in anyway. And then you're just going to naturally cause your body to decrease everything.
Well, that's what drugs like benzodiazepines, even those, I mean, that's the same concept, right? They compensate for the brain's natural stress inhibitors, and they all sit back and go, someone else has got this. And then when you take those away, the withdrawal is your brain going, wait, I'm atrophied. I haven't done this shit for months. Right?
Yeah, that, and it's also giving it, the whole brain is getting anxiety going, oh my God, what do I do now?
This whole teeny nards thing would be super helpful with the bike shorts, though. Maybe I do want to do this real quick.
Just butter them up real good. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Exactly, yeah.
Be like pushing little peas around in a bowl of Jello.
Taking
and maybe you need some
bike ride.
Maybe you want some of that gas so that it it just propels you a little bit further. Maybe it goes easy on your legs.
Like some of those hills will be like, I'm taking my feet off the pedals for this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love all this. I love that Dan can come on and talk about this shit, and then we can talk about board games because it's such a great.
It really is.
Transition.
It really is such a funny combo of things, right? Let's go from talking about this stuff to let's talk about chits and meeples and rolling the dice and moving your dude few spaces.
I've been putting. This is just a prediction, but I've been putting together a new what do you call it? Survey that I'm going to send out to TMS people. And have them vote and just talk about like the different things they like. Do you like news and stuff with Brian and Scott on the weekdays? Do you like, Wendy's segment or whatever? And just let them vote on stuff they really like or what they want to change. Just one of these general things. And I guarantee you, Dan's thing is gonna. You've gone way up this year, Dan. It's gonna go.
It's gonna be up there.
Yeah.
I'm so worried about.
What else I'm predicting?
What?
You know what else I'm predicting?
I pretty much usually skip the music.
That guy, dude. Why would you pipe up? I mean, no offense to this guy. I'm sure he's nice.
I know.
But why pipe up on Twitter when we're talking
why
about songs?
offer that information?
Right.
Exactly.
It's like saying someone says, "Oh, I got the nicest letter from my grandma today. I killed my grandma with a steak knife." It's like, why are you here? What are you doing?
My grandma's arms fell off because of diabetes. She can't write letters anymore.
It's so weird.
Allow me to interject.
Twitter's weird, man.
Scared to come on in a couple of weeks, and Brian's gonna go, "You've been voted off the show."
Mm-hmm. Right. You're out of here, buddy.
The tribe has spoken.
Indeed. Well, Dan, I see this as a fun opportunity to learn from you about what we should also be digging into games-wise this weekend. So, what do you suggest?
At Origins, there was a couple of things that came out at Origins that were really good, and pretty much one of them was not even on my radar. And this happens sometimes, mostly because this is a game from Blue Orange that's mostly a kid's game. I linked it in the Discord for you guys. But this is a game called Slide Quest.
Slide?
Games slide, like sliding on a floor.
Slide. Oh, here we go. Okay, take a look at this here.
Again, it goes under the radar because it's a kid game, and you don't realize how much fun on a box with that. It has like 4 tongue depressor plastic things around there.
Look at
and in the middle of the box, there's kind of like a little plastic thing, and there's 20 different scenarios in there that you kind of put in there. They're not very long or anything, but there's like the first basic one is get your dude from point A to point B, and this is a plastic kind of knight that has a little ball bearing on the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, this is so cool. It's like the old labyrinth with the little rolling knobs on the sides.
Just like the labyrinth. Yep. But instead of the little knobs, everybody's kind of pushing down their side. So you're kind of like, you're sitting there, you're like, oh my God. All right, Brian, up. All right, everybody off. Just Brian.
So this is like you got to work together in tandem to get this thing. Oh yeah, this is boy. Speaking of the tribe has spoken. I mean, this is just like a survivor challenge where you've got to get 4-person team doing this, working together, and
it looks hard. It looks like
really
it would be
cool.
hard to not break or something. Am I wrong to think that about it?
Oh, you don't have to worry about breaking it because you're not like slamming the thing down or anything. You're kind of really lightly going up and down, and the pieces that are in it, they're little plastic pieces, and there's also meeples in there that they're kind of these little dudes. I think they're like pikemen or whatever. We were just calling them aliens. You have to get them at a certain point into the hole, because you don't want to go. There's little holes on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Holes, you got to start the level all over, and you lose a life. You have a certain amount of life to start the game, depending on what. There's actually also dynamite, which is these little red cylinders, the little wooden cylinders. They look really thin, and you're like, oh my God, these things are going to fall over in a second. But they actually don't fall over that easy, surprisingly. But you don't want to get those to fall over. You want to kind of get the bad guys into their holes, and you want to get people too, which is kind of a bigger orange one. And there'll be some times where you got to get him in a hole.
Do they have a little silver, like a silver ball underneath those things? Is that how they roll, or how are they moving?
The main guy has a silver ball under his bum hole, but everybody else is just a meeple that you place. They just have things that you place on there, and like the objects, they kind of click into the board.
They have little pegs into holes, kind of thing. So, and how many different boards come in this thing?
There's 20 different boards that come in this.
Oh, this is cool. All right.
This is cool. This looks fun.
So buying this damn thing. This looks so cool.
Yeah. I'm not one. Dan,
when's it coming out?
Yeah.
When's it coming out?
We're ready. If not, it'll be within the next month or so.
Okay.
I think you can find it on Amazon.
I'm looking right now.
People surrounding our table.
Yeah, Brian's going to do he's buying one. You're doing it. You're doing it, aren't you, Brian?
I'm totally doing it, because
of course you're doing it.
This is like, me, Tina, Tristan, and Kay. Totally something that we can we can play together. And $24
neighbors over, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So much
the
fun.
Drunk Neighbors. This is a great drunk neighbor game.
Yep, he would be great at
with
this.
it. And you don't want to, when you're talking to each other, you're like, oh no, don't shake, don't bounce.
Right,
You just gotta go easy. And it gets really
Put
hard. We
your
got up
head
to
down.
number 17.
You need to film it, Brian. Do like a
Instagram
or some live thing so we can watch it.
Oh, I'm liking this a lot.
So wait a minute.
Another game that I'm like putting in my box, that the closet, that we'll play like for a month, and it's like, oh yeah, let's get that one out again. But
stuff gets buried.
I want to get out because you really don't even. You can just put it on the table and be like, I'm not going to explain anything. Just go.
All right, let me ask you this question. For a guy like me, for some reason, I have a problem with too much mechanical stuff with my board games. And by that, I just mean I see them and I go, okay, nope, not for me. I feel like...
You mean like too confusing? Mechanical meaning too confusing, too many...
Not too confusing, just something about the idea that it's... I think it's because I'm such a video gamer that the old ways of creating new mechanics in physical objects is just... It annoys me. Like Mousetrap, that annoys me.
Oh, really?
That annoys, but Mousetrap annoys everybody.
Well, that's true. It's a bad example, but I don't like anything with big buttons or buzzers, or I usually hate that stuff. I'm trying to be more open-minded about it. That's
probably the low T.
It might be the low T. It might be the low T. So here's the question: will this cure me of that? Because I'll tell you what, that gun game that we played in Vegas with the little rubber guns that Kovalik made that game. I forgot the name of it. Shit. Anyway, it was like a cops and robbers thing. It was basically a Mexican standoff with a bunch of rubber guns. And you would point at each other, and they had cards you'd pass around to say whether or not it was a bullet or a blank. And it was really fun. And normally I hate prop games. I usually hate them. So I was turned around on that one. Do you think I'd be turned around here as well?
Going to be something, because the setup is like 30 seconds. Like you'll put the board on there, you'll know where to put the things. It's not like a big elaborate thing, and it's not like a lot of rules or anything like that. I think I know you rules to remember in games. I know that gives you a little bit of problems. What I call the Scott games are the ones that are kind of three main rules. When they have the three main rules to go, and then you just take off with it. Those are the kind of the good Scott games. The more involved ones where you've got to remember 15 different things, that's not really up your alley. Because those are going to be ones that are going to be hard to remember and hard to understand. And then you may not see it again for 6 months, and you got to relearn it all over again.
Yeah, and for everybody who's laughing at that, by the way, when I had normal T, I still hated too many rules. Okay, so I don't want everyone going, "Oh, it's his low T with the rule limits."
It's a low T.
I hated it when it was 15 rules, and I like it when it's smaller. But I take your point. Like, I feel like you're kind of a guru in this way for me, because I've had to force myself to go, all right, what do you actually, when you're with a bunch of people and you're playing this thing, like, what are you there for? Am I there just to say jokes and make people laugh and really ignore the game? Because I think I've done that a lot in my life. I think I've kind of been that guy that's like, these rules, let's try it once and see if we can just figure it out. Like, I'm just that guy. And I don't want to be that guy anymore. I want to be more meticulous, and I want to think about it, and I want to strategize, and I want to, get my head around it. I think
the hardest thing is the hardest thing for you is you've got so many things going on that, you just have to say, all right, tonight, we're playing this game. I'm going to use my brain. It's going to be, I know it's going to be about an hour, and I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to think about, prepping for this or that or going. Just going to sit here and play. And once you just shut your brain off of everything else, I think you really would enjoy using, because you like RPGs and you like things where there's puzzles, and that's what a lot of board games are. A lot of board games, even Euro games, there's a puzzle because you're trying to figure out, how do I turn this into that and do it in the most effective manner?
Right.
But you just have to invest and just be there. That's why I always say, like, you need somebody that's going to know all the rules and just get it out there for you.
Yeah.
And get it set up.
I need to live near you, is what I'm saying. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get Dan.
So another one I've got.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys another one that I think Scott, you guys would both like. So, a company called Van Ryder Games, they put out what's called these graphic novel adventures. Actually, they kind of imported them. These are kind of, I think a French developer does these, but they're graphic novel adventures. They're basically like newer choose your own adventures, but they're choose your own adventures kind of on steroids for like a modern era. And they have about 4 or 5 different ones, where there's ones that are just kind of the Sherlock Holmes, where you're just kind of really just choosing your adventure, trying to find clues and going to different numbers. And then there's ones like when it was called Loup Garou, which I think I might have mentioned that on a show before, Loup Garou, where it's basically about you are a werewolf, And this is more of the RPG one where you're keeping track of stats. You're kind of going up a tech tree where you're getting different skills as you level up through the book. But you also roll a die if you got there's a few fights in there, and you'll get items. What's also cool is as you're kind of going through the book, you may notice something that isn't, it's not just written normally. There'll be just like a number in the sky where it just says 19, big, and then kind of in the corner there it might say 200. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go check out what that is, and you go to page 200, and you'll see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a bunch of different ones of those. Like I said, Lucaroo was part of the initial. The initial package of them. There was another one's called, I think it was My Town, something town, where you're actually making it's called Your Town, where it was a Western town where you're building up this Western town, and the story kind of goes from there. The one that's coming out within the next month for Gen Con is called the Crusoe Crew, kind of like Robinson Crusoe. It's called the Crusoe Crew. Mm-hmm. This one is 4 books, and it's made to play together, whereas normally these other ones are just made as a solo experience, and they're great for like planes and stuff like that. This other one is called the Crusoe Crew, and it's made so that you sit there with 4 people and you're reading the same story pretty much at the same time. So each one of us, so Scott, you may have one power. You'll have like kind of a certain type of power. I'll have a different power. Maybe Brian, you could talk to animals. So as we go to page 5, I may see a number somewhere and read something, and all of a sudden Brian may see the squirrel is telling him, hey, look behind the shed and go to number 55. But I don't see that. And then we'll be kind of talking, saying, oh, hey, what about this mystery? What should we do? And Brian's going to go to number 5 because the squirrel just told me.
Right.
Oh,
Okay, so
great.
kind of like almost like a board game version of the Don't Cut the Blue Wire, whatever it is, where you're all working together but you're seeing different things.
Yes, yeah, that's another really fun thing too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's that game? That's a really popular VR one. Don't talk and nobody dies, or don't.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's something like that, right? Nobody gets hurt.
Whatever that is. That's a really
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, those are really fun, especially because it's I don't know, I like the asynchronous quality of one guy is a specific kind of function in the game, kind of like a DM in Dungeons and Dragons, not exactly, but then everyone else plays a kind of a whole different role. That's always cool. I like those a lot.
Like the
limited amount of time to tell people
Jack
everything
Bauer too. Right, Jack Bauer, and then all the people back at CTU telling him which.
All right, I'm seeing 2 red wires and a blue wire. What do I do? I've only got 18 seconds before this thing explodes.
Yep, and he's talking on his Palm pre, I think, back then, because that would have been about the era.
Michael.
This is cool. So how much for this thing? What's this cost?
This one I think is going to be about $25 for the Crusoe Crew. The other books are usually right around $20 each, and I think you can get the whole set of them. They come in kind of a bound set, but they're hardcover books. They're really, really nice. All these are available. I'm pretty sure you can get them all online, or you can go to Van Ryder Games. Do a search for that online. You can find there. They put a really good one out called Mystery. That one I just picked up at Origins, and it's you're basically a superhero.
Oh.
And kind of the whole story is about superheroes. And again, you could, as you play the game, you kind of level up and you're getting more powers. And you're trying to see how far you can go, getting other villains and stuff.
I like powers. I want more of those. Well, that's great. So you had a good time.
And your power could be high T.
Yeah, it could be high T. I just want like 600. I don't even need to be more than 500. The range is 500 to 900. I just want to be in the middle there somewhere.
Anywhere in there would be fine with you.
Yeah, like just give me a normal thing. What's my brain doing? You know, like
because you've been getting out in the sun and you've been doing some walking and things like that. So it's still a little bit down.
I've been jogging. I got this freaking brand new shoes I got. Look, I got brand new running shoes. They're on right now because when we're done, I'm going to go run again. Like, I'm trying. Ah, shit, I almost fell off. I'm trying, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like pulling teeth. Trying to get natural
all your Harry
teeth.
Potterisms out there.
Yeah. I did some of that, by the way, that Harry Potter game.
That Wizards Unite.
And it reminded me, when I'm out doing that with the dog or whatever, of the same problem I have with Pokemon Go. I just don't
run out of balls.
Well, yes, but I also just forget to pull it out. I forget to, there's a tower thing. I got to walk back there. It's just kind of the same stuff. That it's almost like that game's best played if you and a couple of friends dedicate your time and say, let's just go hunting right now and let's do that for an hour, and not as a thing you do while you have to do something else like walk the dog or something else.
Yeah. Well, my wife
totally
and I,
true.
we started getting that a couple of, last week or whatever, and we were walking around. Now the biggest problem we have is that, like, we want to walk around our neighborhood. There's like a good mile trail, but there's no inns, so you can't get energy, which is basically like the Pokeballs. There's none of the big things. There's just kind of stuff that pops up, which is fine and all. But if you run out of energy, like, I want to walk and I want to do these things, right? Yeah. I'm not going to drive somewhere so I can sit somewhere for 20 minutes so I can hit the inn every 5 minutes. That's crap.
Yeah, that's
a little bit more out there. I could do it.
Well, yeah.
They need to integrate the thing that kind of fixed that in Pokemon Go, which is friends sending you gifts. Because as long as you've got gifts to open, you've got a steady stream of Pokeballs coming at you. So they need to implement that, sending gifts back and forth. Sending them a remember all or something. It's easy. It's an easy way to integrate that into the game.
And I got like 50 friends, and I don't know what in the heck that really matters. And exactly. And it's something that I'm sure that as the game, especially since it's the same company, isn't Niantic is the same?
It is
company?
Niantic, yeah, totally.
So I mean, you think the first big patch they put out, I'm sure will have a lot of that stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about all these games, and I'm excited about the future of AR gaming. Look, we've solved it all in one fell swoop. Hey, but here's an idea, Dan. You can totally say no to this if you want. Do you want to hang around while we do TMS questions just for fun?
Oh yeah,
go for it. I'm in.
All right,
got nowhere to go.
You got nowhere to be.
You can answer the ones that
Let's see. Wait, he's gonna answer which ones? I want to hear.
He's gonna answer the ones that are appropriate that would work for him. Right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
If it's
Let's see. Don't I have a clip for this? Don't I? What do I usually play? Hold on, it's the low T.
Goes tweet.
Yeah, you're right. It's the low T. All right, here it is.
And you can always follow me on Twitter.
You're fired.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's not play that. All right.
Wow.
Let's do these TMS questions, and we'll do it while we have Dan here. He can basically fact check any stupid stuff we say. We'll tear through these. We have one here from Elizabeth C., who says, since we've just passed the 40-year anniversary of the Muppet movie, if you could be any Muppet, who would it be? Brian, who do you want to be?
Oh, I like this. Who would I want to be? They're all people walking around with Jim Henson's hand up there, hoo-ha. But I like what was the my favorite Muppet has always been the guy who's almost Ernie. I think his name is Lou, Lew. He's almost Ernie, but he throws fish. And
with the boomerang fish.
Yeah.
The boomerang fish. He's Lou something.
I love him. I love that guy.
It's just basically they took Ernie and they put like a mustache and glasses on him.
Yep, there you go.
New Zealand, that's it. Thank you, Jeannie. Yes, New Zealand.
New Zealand is his name?
New Zealand is New
right.
Zealand.
I'm going with Pepe the Shrimp. I think he's pretty great.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I always wanted to be Kermit as a kid. When I first got a little bit of a radio, I would go up to like my relatives and be like, Kermit the Frog here with Eyewitness News, and I wanted to interview like my relatives. So I would probably always want to be.
Oh my gosh, dude! I would pay money to see the 9-year-old Dan. That would be amazing. That's awesome. All right,
Kermit the Frog here, interviewing Dan.
How about this one? Scott Proclaims, this would be Jamie, says, or no, that's not Jamie. Who is, it's a secret. We can't say who that is.
Scott Proclaims, yeah, exactly. This is the
can't do that.
Secret account. Right?
Pop quiz, which legendary bowler had the nickname Whispering Death? No idea.
Jeez.
I don't know any
We
legendary
do pop
bowlers.
quizzes in our Ask TMS.
Yeah, that's a new
Whispering
one.
Death. I can't even name a bowler other than Odd Job, who threw his bowler.
I mean, I'm trying to think back. Like I don't know any
Janine
professional
Garofalo?
bowlers.
Was it Janine Garofalo and Mystery Men? Is that the one?
That can't be right. No.
No, yeah, Lebowski, Big Lebowski, right. Those are the only bowlers I can name are fictional bowlers.
The Jesus. The Jesus.
Oh, that was the other Ask TMS.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen any questions about them.
It's a cricket bowler. He's totally playing a joke on us.
Sure. Well done. How about this one? Monica Monocle Face says, am I the only one who confuses photos of Michael Sheen and Simon Pegg? Yes, I think they're different people, and I've never considered them the same. So yes, it is just her.
Yeah, they're similar, but I mean, I can see what you're saying, but yeah.
Two British guys.
You're the only person.
Remind me of Loki. He used to always kind of build their face.
Yeah, the Loki guy.
Hiddleston?
Tom Hiddleston has a Michael Sheen, Simon Pegg vibe. in general. So I could see mixing him up with those two somehow. Paul Bowling, for real, sent one in. Says, do you have a preferred iPhone app to make GIFs? Yes, I do. I make my own GIFs. I'm a big believer in free-range GIF making. And I will tell you the name as soon as I pull it up. It is GiphyCam, Giphy Cam. And you can do, in fact, we'll do one right now just for fun. I'll make one of Brian's face. So we're going to take a quick shot of Brian. So Brian, make a funny face, move around a little bit. There you go. Good job. Now I'm going to take that GIF. I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to text it to Brian because I'll put it on the chat or in the Twitter at some point. But there you go, Brian. There's your brand new GIF I just made.
It's going to be a real useful one, by the way.
It might actually be useful. After you see this, you might be like, oh, wow. But see how fast and easy it was? And what's cool about that app is you can do it that way. You can add text to it. You can zoom in, zoom out, rotate, do all that stuff too. But you can bring in video files from anywhere. So sometimes I'll just see like something wacky on a website, and I'll do a video record of my screen, which is an iOS feature now, and just record it, and then take that video, bring it in, and then just chop out a little bit. It'll let you edit with these little finger things, and now you got a brand new GIF. So there you go.
That's cool.
Hey, you know what's great about Michael Sheen?
What's that? Give it.
What's that?
He gives ugly guys everywhere hope. I always felt that he punched way above his weight.
I mean, he's you know what? I'll allow it. I agree.
Wasn't he married to Kate Beckinsale for a while?
Oh, I don't know. Was he? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she also liked Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. Like,
Yeah, she seems to. She punches down. Is what she does.
It's not so much that he punches up.
I think Pete Davidson, he must have some sort of weird superpower that we're not aware of.
Right? Because he had Ariana Grande for a while too. Yeah.
Big comedy penis. I have no idea.
Show title.
Yeah, there you go. But he's isn't Kate Beckinsale though in trouble, right? Not in trouble, but getting a lot of heat right now because she's she came out as an anti-vaxxer or something. I think she's all anti-vaxxy. I think it's either her or it's you know who it is? I'm sorry, mixing her up. It's that's the low T coming back. The low T. Hold on.
Kate Hudson?
No. The one
Margaret Beckinsale.
No, the one married
Elizabeth Beckinsale.
Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel. That's
Jessica Biel.
Oh, no way, really?
Justin Timberlake's wife.
Timberlake?
Yeah, Mrs. Timberlake. She's apparently an anti-vaxxer. She don't want them. Don't get Dan started on the anti-vaxxing.
My God, don't get me. I just about hopped on my high horse.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Scott's really good about screaming about that too. So you're a good man.
Yeah, I hate it.
Brown.
I freaking hate it. All right, next up, Tom Duvall wrote in. He says he loves the smell of napalm in the morning. Just kidding. That's not the right Duvall. That's Robert Duvall. See, look, that's the low T getting out of the way and letting Scott's memory come right back.
Something got through. Yeah, right.
New dad questions. Do you ever feel like you pushed geek culture onto your children? Should you cultivate geeky stuff or let kids choose what they're into? Absolutely.
Wow.
I totally did, and they glommed onto it, so it was a win-win. But I didn't push it on them, but I just lived it, right?
Yeah.
So you plugged the N64 in.
No, you're going to sit there until you finish all 12 episodes of Firefly.
And you will be upset
you try when they're younger.
Yeah.
You try when they're younger, and then you just kind of fade away, and then all of a sudden you learn, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Right,
my daughter loves Marvel, and she loves DC, and she loves all these, she loves anime. I'm like, where did that all come from?
The truth is they're going to find it either way. You don't have to do that much to push them toward it. If they don't like it, they won't, and you'll know. And if they do, it's great because then you can spend time with them with this thing that you both love and whatever. But if that doesn't happen, that's okay too. Like,
totally fine.
My sister and I, for example, like my parents weren't nerdy, but my sister did not go my direction. Wendy and I could not be further apart when it comes to this particular nerd culture we're all in. However, the relationship's still great, and it doesn't mean you're losing anything or, you're not missing out on anything. It's nice when you have those things, but if you don't, that's okay too. You'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Good luck to you, Tom Duvall. All right, how about this one? Rishi B. Oh, this would be great. If you were running for president, what would your campaign theme song be? Brian, what would you do?
Let's see. All right, come back to me. Do you guys have an answer? Like, I gotta think about this one.
What's the name of the song where he goes, you got what I need? What's that song?
That's Teddy Pendergrass. I think it's called "You Got What I Need."
That's what I'm doing. That's it. That's my song.
That would be yours.
Yeah, that or Cars. Here in my car. I want it to make no sense that it's playing. Like no.
I'm gonna do Diana Ross. I'm coming out, and then when I'm done, when I'm getting off the stage, I want a different version that goes, I'm going back in.
All right, Dan, what would you do?
After that as well.
Wait, what?
We didn't start the fire.
Oh,
that would be my thing.
We didn't start the fire.
You know, we're gonna try to put it out.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good. That's actually a really good one. Mine's nonsense. Don't listen to me. All right, here's another one. Let's see. I'm skipping ahead here a little bit. Some of these are the same. Okay, here we go. What is that? Oh, in honor. This is from George Saul. In honor of games done quick, what game did you beat in the shortest amount of time? Oh, I don't think I've ever finished anything very short.
I'm the worst. I'm probably the worst person to ask this. Device 5 on the iPad. I devoured that game. Device 5 or Device 9? What was it called? Device
something. Device.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Device. I'm looking it up here. Device 6. I wasn't even either of those numbers. Device 6 on the iPad. I loved that game.
I think for me it was you know, it may have been the campaign in Wings of Liberty, StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. I ripped through that and just played it until I beat it. I think that may have been it. But for the rest
mine was either
go ahead.
Halo Reach, because I think it's pretty short anyway, but when you get a new Halo game, especially back then when they were really stopped playing Halo until it was done, and then either the Halo Reach or the original BioShock, man, that just grabbed me.
Did you?
And I just didn't stop.
Yeah, same with me on BioShock. BioShock 1 I ripped through, and also Infinite I played really quickly and beat it. Did you? Are you excited about Reach being part of that anniversary collection that's coming to PC, coming to Steam and everything? Did you hear about that?
You know, I'm excited for anything Halo. I'm not really burnt out because it's been so long since I really got into one. You know, my son had kind of gotten into the fact that he wanted to play a duo. So we did a bunch of that, playing co-op together. So yeah, bring back Halo, everything. I'm not too burnt out on that stuff.
Yeah,
I'd love to check it out again.
I'm kind of excited too. I actually think Reach was the best. I'd still say it's the best Halo they ever made.
Because it's the one that had a lot of the space fighting too, right? Didn't it have where you're flying a plane as well, and then some on the ground? That was some great combos.
Yeah, and it had great team stuff and like character stuff in the campaign, and it was just a better. To me, that's where the series peaked. We'll see if Infinite's any good, but that one really, I loved Reach. Reach was great. All right, we'll do one more here. Oh, this is too good. Gary Fisher wrote in. And don't worry, if you did any of these other people, we'll get to them next week. We like to collect them a bit so we're not running out. Gary Fisher, you know from Lantronix, Brian? You know him?
Oh, yeah. Like you're from Lot B, Gary Fisher.
Lot B, from the Woody lot or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, because Toy Story's out, and now you're in the Woody lot. Good job, Gary.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he says, are eyebrows considered facial hair? I'm going to say no. I don't think they are. His mind.
Because they're not as customizable. I mean, they are customizable. You can do those things where people cut stripes into them, but they're not as customizable as mustaches and beards, right? Is that why you're saying that? I mean, it's hair on your face, and that is the very definition of facial hair.
That's a good point. If the definition is it hair on your face, then yes. Is it facial hair?
Yeah, but what's the baseball team that says no facial hair? Is that the Yankees?
Yeah, Yankees are big on that.
And that doesn't mean, all right, time for me to shave off my eyebrows.
Right. We know they mean mustache, beard, and chops.
Yeah, I will say that eyebrows are not facial hair.
Okay, Brian and I agree. Dan, you either got to go against us or make it unanimous.
I mean, in strict medical sense of the word, I would say that it's facial hair, but in the real life sense, no.
Okay, so in a practical sense, no, because no one practically thinks of it that way. But if you're going purely by like scientific fact, it is hair on your face, therefore facial hair.
somebody said I burn off all my facial hair.
Right.
You probably would think that they meant your eyebrows as well.
Well, maybe your face is only from the bridge of your nose down because this is your forehead, and this is your head.
Still part of your face.
Is it though? Is your forehead part of your face?
I mean, your eyes are part of your face, and it's
but that's lower than the bridge of your nose. So if the eyebrows are on the forehead, then they don't count as facial hair. They're forehead hair.
Their foreheads on and face off, did they?
Oh my gosh.
We should be smoking pot. Why are we talking about this? We don't have pot.
Jeez.
This is terrible.
Our brows considered facial hair.
Oh my gosh, dude! I never thought of it.
You're fired.
All right, Dan. This has been a blast. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Yes, boys, as always.
We like having you on. Don't forget, people can find more of Dan and other places on the internet. Why don't you tell people where that is?
At Geek Jock Blog on Twitter or at the Geek All Stars podcast. And of course, you can also find me on Top 5 on the Top 5 Express on the Major Spoilers Network as well.
Oh, very nice. Go check that out. Dan, the tabletop and drug advice man.
Medicine man.
Dan,
the medicine.
All you Americans have a great 4th of July, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Thanks, you dirty Southerner. All right. That's rude, isn't it? That was rude. Jeez. All right, that's it for the show. A reminder that you can support this nonsense over at patreon.com/TMS. The reason we do a 5th episode a week and call it PM is because of that support. So keep that up and consider doing it if you haven't. We really appreciate everyone who has. It means a great deal to us, and there's cool stuff you can get along with just the knowledge that you're helping us out. So go check it out, patreon.com/TMS. For everything else, frogpants.com/TMS. That's going to do it. Brian, we should do a song.
We should do a song. I was thinking about Bicycle Race by Queen for today, but I decided something else to go with the request. Davey wrote in and said, I've got a song request for Gidget, who always makes my day when she's on. Here's a song that always makes my day as well. Cheers, signed Davey. This is great. This is a band I'd never heard of called Leftover Crack.
That's an awesome name. Love that.
And the album last year that they released, which is like all their B-sides and rarities, is called Leftover Crack. How could you not love this? This is fantastic. And the O in Leftover, by the way, is got umlauts for whatever reason. So here is their cover of Men at Work's Down Under. They call it Land Down Under, but the real name of the song is just Down Under. Doggone it. Leftover Crack from the album Leftover Crack.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. All right, we're going to play that. We'll be back on Monday. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Go make some Mario levels, and we'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Innocently they dance.
Oh, okay. Dancing innocently, I see.
Innocently. Warning.